Hola, chicos. I need to teach you a new verb. I'm going to try to do it while the Harrison Kallenberg concert is going on in the shower next door. We'll see how it goes. He's sort of noisy, but he is a really good singer. I'll give him that. Okay, so let's go ahead and do it. And I guess if I play this back and it's just stupidly loud, then I'll redo it. Okay, the verb ear, that's all there is to it, those two letters, ear, means to go. And it is obviously a crucial verb in your learning because how often do we talk about where we're going and where we're not going? We do it a lot. So in any language, to go is something really important to learn. So this is how it works in Spanish. In the present tense, in order to say where you're going to go, just a reminder, a refresher that verbs that are unconjugated are called infinitives. And every single one of them mean to something. Hablar, to speak. Comer, to eat. Estar, to be. Ir, to go. So it's highly irregular since it's only two letters, but the infinitive still means to, and in this case, go. Okay, so if I want to say I go, then I say yo voy. So it's similar to ser with soy, but obviously it's very, very irregular. Normally, your present tense ending for yo is o, letter O at the end of the stem, and that's not the case here, which is why you simply must memorize. So there's no particular formula with your irregular verbs, and that's why no one likes them. Unfortunately, most irregular verbs are verbs that we use often, like ser, estar, ir, tener. Those are all verbs we're using all the time. Okay, so the first person, I go, yo voy. The next level is second person, and we're on the left, so it's second person singular, which is you, familiar. So we say tú vas. So far we have voy, vas, he, she, you, it. Third person singular, va. So we have voy, vas, va. You have a document with this information in it. So you don't have to try to keep notes or take notes on what I'm just saying here. You have a document attached to the lesson. Okay, the next one now on the right side of the verb box, that's we. We is nosotros vamos. Nosotros vamos, we go. Y'all go. Vosotros vais. That is primarily used in Spain. And if you're in Spain and you say you and a friend, if I say, are you and Joey going to McDonald's? Then that would be vosotros because you are someone, assuming you are someone with whom I would be more familiar with. Okay, so third plural would be they, whether it be a group of girls, a group of boys, or whether it be you all, ustedes, when you're not in Spain, go. So, ellos, ellas, ustedes van. Repiten entonces. Voy, vas, va. Vamos, vais, van. Repiten. Voy, vas, va. Vamos, vais, van. Está bien. Sounds like Harrison turned it down over there. Okay, so here's some examples. You, a friend, go to school, so I'm going to use tú. Tú vas a la escuela. Tú vas a la escuela. Why didn't I write to? Well, because AS is only the to form, so I can leave it off if I want to. It still says you go to school. The dogs go to their blue house. Los perros, it's more than one thing, so I'm going to use the plural form, van a su casa azul. I am going to the bank, or I go to the bank. It's the same conjugation. Voy al banco. Another thing you have in your attachments is a list of places in a town. So banco is there. Okay, so the next thing we teach when we do ear is the immediate future. So it allows you to say what you're going to do. I don't like my students to call this the future tense because a tense is what happens when we change the ending of a verb to say something different. Like the future tense would be the endings that we put at the end on a stem in order to say, I will go, I will eat, I will. Those are different endings than you would use for present tense. In this case, we're going to use the present tense to say we're going to do something. So you don't have to do anything different with the verb. I'm going to show you how to set it up so that you can say what you're going to do. And then the way you do that is you conjugate ir. So that's when we change the ending depending on the subject. And then you put an and then you put the infinitive for whatever it is you're going to do. What's an infinitive? An unconjugated verb. So we need the to form. So I am going, infinitive, to eat, to run, to sing, to play video games, whatever it is you're going to do. That's an infinitive. So the construction is a bit odd in that if I say I'm going to study Spanish, voy a estudiar. Literally, this says I'm going to study. So what do you do about that? Nothing. You just accept it and memorize it and do it the way the grammar rules tell you to do, and in that this is the way to do it. So I conjugate I'm going to study a estudiar el español. My mother is going to buy a car for me. My mother, mi madre, is going to va a, because that's what comes next. Always ir a. To buy, comprar un coche para mí. Mi madre va a comprar un coche para mí. Anna and I are going to skate. Ana y yo. If it's anybody else and I, then we become we, right? So if you're part of any group, it's we. Ana and I are going, Ana y yo vamos. I don't have to say nosotros. I can just say Anna and I. Anna and I vamos a patinar. We are going to skate. So I want to back up just a bit here in these other examples. Okay, whenever you say you're going somewhere, I'm going to school, you always use a. Always put a after a conjugated form of ir. So vas a escuela. Los perros van a su casa, to their home. I'm going to the bank. Voy a el banco. So this is not my presentation. Another teacher sent this to me and I edited it, but it looks like I might have to add something else for you. Ok, vamos a conjugar rapidito, Si tenemos el verbo ir y yo, ¿cuál es la forma? What's the form? Yo voy. Próximo, tú vas. Ir, Ana. Voy, vas. Va. Ana y yo, anybody, and I is the nosotros form. Vamos. Ana y tú, that would be vosotros form, but we're going to leave it Ana y tú. Vais. Ana y él, now there's more than one person and neither of us are part of it, so that is going to be like a they form, but you're still going to use their names. Van. Repiten. Voy, vas, va. Vamos, vais, van. Okay, now if we want to say what we're going to do, I gave you a little dictionary up here in the corner. If I want to say I am going to eat, I'll conjugate I am going according to the yo form. So voy a, always a. To eat, infinitive, don't do anything to that one. Voy a comer, I'm going to eat. Let's say you are going to swim. So now it's tú, not voy, but the to form. Vas a, always a. Nadar is your infinitive. Tú vas a nadar, you're going to swim. Ana is going to write. So same thing. Going to do that form for she. Ana va a, because we always use a. Then what? Escribir. Ana va a escribir. She's going to write. Ana is going to write. Ana and I, so if it's and I, anybody else with me, then we are going to use the we form, but we don't always have to say nosotros. Ana and I, the words Ana and I, are equivalent to nosotros or we. So Ana and I vamos, then what do we always say every time? Vamos a estudiar. Ana y yo vamos a estudiar. Almost done. You and Anna are going to eat. So now it's you familiar and Ana, which is the same as vosotros. So you don't have to say the word vosotros for it to be a vosotros form because it's you familiar, somebody I know, and Ana, same form. Vais. Vais a what? A comer. Tú y Ana vais a comer. And the last one will be a they form. He and Anna. So we have two third persons, a he and a she. So that makes a they, but we're not saying they right now. We're just saying he and Anna. We're naming them individually. He and Anna are going. What's the verb form? Van. And we always say a to swim, nadar. Ana y él van a nadar. Repiten estas frasitas. Repeat these little sentences, please. Voy a comer. Repiten, vas a nadar. Ahora repiten, Ana va a escribir. Ahora repiten, Ana y yo vamos a estudiar. Repiten, tú y Ana vais a comer. Ajá. Repiten, tú y Ana vais a comer. Y la última, repiten, Ana y él van a nadar. Okay, chicos, not too hard, eh? This is not hard stuff right here. Something that I want to point out with you, why don't we just make another slide and you can follow along as we do it. Okay, so if you are going to somewhere, to plus either an L or a plus a la, that shouldn't be an equal, should be a plus. So when we are working in combination with L or la, we have to do different things. So if I say L, let's say hospital, the hospital. You can't say L. This is not allowed. So this becomes al hospital. This is not a suggestion. It's not an option. It's incorrect if you don't do it this way. So that's alarming. You're not supposed to do that. Okay? Don't do that. So I'm making that red for warning. This you can do. That is go, do it. Green for go. Yo voy a la, let's say, tienda, to the store. Or why don't we make it even easier for y'all? Since you know the word for school, we'll do that. Voy a la escuela. And you don't have to do anything differently. So that really isn't hard either. What happens is, I think we've talked before about phonetic rules. Sometimes things change, they do different things, all because of the way they sound, and that's phonetics. So this is a case of that. Okay, so if I'm going to somewhere masculine and it's L as a definite article, then I have to combine it and make al. Have to do it. Have to, guys. Voy al hospital, voy a la escuela. That's the only other thing you need to know. So when you do your homework today, let's pull it up and see what you've got going on here. You're gonna, sorry, I'm making you wait. I did a bunch of other things here while I was working. Okay, this is your assignment. So for the first one, all you're doing is rewriting the verb box. And I bet you by the time you get done with number 5, you'll know all these conjugations. Voy vas va, vamos vais van. Voy vas va, vamos vais van. I should see 5 times 6, I should see 30 edits just for this verb box. So if I open your document and there are only 5 edits, then I know that you just copied and pasted the top row and you're going to get a 0. Don't do that. I want you to practice. Better yet, print it out and write them. I think that helps even more. So you're going to do that. In the next section, you're going to fill in the blank with a. So what will you do? Either al or a la. So you need to look at where the subject is going. So like in the example, my friends are going, van. This needs a verb right here. There. Mis amigos van. It's a tienda. Are they going a la tienda or al tienda? A la is what you do. You only do al if it's masculine. So in parentheses here, I have put the article. So you'll say, okay, ellos no van. Are you going to say a la or are you going to make it al? You'll have to look at the definite article here in parentheses and decide. Those are pretty simple. If you're unsure, then just rewind a little bit and look at those examples I gave you in that one slide. Okay, so over here, you're going to look at different subjects, not just typical yo-to-l, but other subjects and figure out which person they are. Are they first person, second person, and third person? So third person is not me and not you. So he, she, it, they. Sometimes they are things, right? So the cars, those cars, they are pretty. That's a third person. So these two right here are going to be third person. One's singular and one's plural. So all I want you to do is put the conjugation next to the word that you see. So I should see 30, 31, 32, 33, 34, 35, 45 edits on this document when I check it off. If I don't see that many edits, that's cheating. Please don't do it that way. Okay, so if you want credit today, make sure that you don't cheat because I don't give credit when people are not actually doing the assignment. So here is the assignment. You have a few attachments actually. You have a city list, and I want you to keep track of where this is. Oh, my internet is slow today. You're going to keep track of where this is so that you have the vocabulary. It really doesn't want to open this for you. Okay, this is ginormous. I'm not going to test you on this particular list, but you'll find it very helpful, especially if you take Spanish 2. If I were you, I'd print this bad boy, put it in your binder, and save it till next year. So all the places in a city. The other document is a ton of infinitives. In the next week or so, I'm going to ask you, come on, open it up. I'm going to ask you to use some of the stuff in sentences. This does not want to open. Anyway, this is a huge list of infinitives. And then this one is, these are the notes that you need. So one page is your plus a plus infinitive, and the other is just the basic conjugations and also how to do those contractions when they're necessary. Okay, that's what I have for you. It's due before midnight, please. I hope you have a good day. Adios, we're almost done.